Welcome to the presentation on Flatthall's industry analysis. Today we'll delve into the student accommodation market in Towland, specifically focusing on Flatthall's position within the purpose-built student accommodation sector. These are the key areas that we will explore to understand Flatthall's position and future prospects. First, we'll establish a strong foundation by examining the student accommodation market in Towland. We'll look at the different sectors that make it up, such as halls of residence, private rentals, and of course, Flatthall's niche, which is the purpose-built student accommodation. Then we'll shift to identify the key factors propelling the industry forward. This will involve exploring trends that are shaping the market, such as rising student enrollment or changes in student preferences. Next, we'll identify the essential ingredients for success in this industry. This might involve aspects like location, amenities offered, or a strong customer service focus. After understanding the playing field, we'll delve into the challenges Flatthall might face. This could include competition within the PBSA sector or broader industry hurdles like obtaining planning permission. To gain a deeper understanding of the competitive landscape, we will utilize Porter's 5 forces framework. This will help us analyze the bargaining power of suppliers and buyers, the threat of substitutes, and intensity of rivalry within the industry. We'll also look at some of Flatthall's key competitors in the PBSA market. This will give us a concrete understanding of who Flatthall is up against. And then finally, to ensure that we have a comprehensive picture, we'll explore any recent news or events that might be impacting the student accommodation industry in Towland. By following this roadmap, we will be gaining valuable insights into Flatthall's position within the student accommodation industry and identify potential opportunities for them to thrive in the future. So let's begin by examining the overall landscape of the student accommodation market in Towland. So student accommodation can take a number of forms. There is halls of residence, which are typically dorms or housing facilities owned and operated directly by universities or colleges. They often offer affordable options, but they might have limited availability and stricter rules for students. Think of them like a large house, which is shared by many students with communal facilities like kitchens and laundry rooms. Then we have private rentals. This refers to students finding individual rooms or apartments to rent directly from landlords. It can be a more flexible option, allowing you to find something that suits your needs and budget. However, the quality and amenities can vary greatly depending on the landlord. This is like finding a place to rent on the open market where you might rent a room in a house with other people, or it could be an entire apartment by yourself. The third one and our area of focus is PBSA. To understand PBSA, imagine a company that specializes in creating entire buildings designed just for students. These buildings offer individual rooms or flats, often with a shared common areas and amenities like laundry facilities, study spaces, and sometimes even social areas like game rooms or courtyards. That's the essence of PBSA. It is a specific niche in the real estate market, which is catering to the needs of students living. Private rentals are the most popular option for students, likely due to their flexibility and potentially wider range of choices. Halls of residence come in second, offering an affordable and convenient option for some students. In the pie chart that you see within the pre-scene, PBSA is the smallest slice currently, but it is the fastest growing segment of the market globally. And that's something we'll discuss further in the presentation. So, the exciting part is that the PBSA market is actually experiencing some significant growth, and there's a good reason for that. The global student population is on the rise. More and more students are traveling for educational opportunities, and that means that there's a growing demand for high quality, convenient housing options specifically designed for them. As you can see, the market size in 2022 was $9.1 billion, and it is forecast to be $14.1 billion in 2030. The growth is very much evident within this graph. Here are some of the key drivers behind the growth within the PBSA sector. The first one is rising student population. As there are more and more students around the world, that means more people needing a place to live while they study. Secondly, the urbanization trends, meaning that more students are choosing to study in cities, which creates a demand for convenient and secure housing options like PBSA. Then there is holistic student experience where universities and colleges are increasingly focused on providing a well-rounded student experience. PBSA can play a role in this by offering not just a place to live, but also amenities and services that support students' well-being and academic success. So, a rising international student population and more mature students seeking social connections are fueling PBSA demand alongside the overall student population growth. Some governments are even giving PBSA a helping hand with easier building permits and financial perks. Then we have university partnerships where universities are teaming up with PBSA companies to build more student housing, sometimes even offering student support services right on site. Let's now analyze the competitive landscape of Flatthall using Porter's five forces. So, the threat of new entrants is moderate. Think of PBSA market like a cool club with room to grow, but it's kind of hard to get in. For example, banks might be hesitant to lend money, and as we discussed, getting permits takes time, and there are lots of rules to follow. So this keeps some new businesses out, but established companies and big companies with money, they might still try to join. So the competition isn't super fierce, but it is moderate. Secondly, bargaining power of suppliers is also moderate. In the PBSA world, the ones who supply things like furniture and building materials can have different strengths. For big things like bricks and beams, they might have more power if there aren't many choices or if everyone wants them at once. But for everyday things like chairs and electricity, there's more competition, so they have less power. The bargaining power of buyers who are students is moderate to high because college students, they are the main customers for PBSA rentals, and they can have some power over price and amenities as there are more choices. So if there are a lot of students housing options or cheap places to rent off campus, the students can bargain for better deals on rent or ask for more perks in their PBSA room. Secondly, with regards to loan burdens, if students have a lot of student loan debt, they might be more worried about price and less willing to pay high rent for a PBSA. Then, if colleges or other organizations give students scholarships that cover housing, so students become less worried about price, and PBSA companies might have more power to set prices. So, taking into account all of these factors, the bargaining power of students can be from moderate to high. The threat of substitutes is low to moderate. Now, there are substitutes available, but PBSA has its own pros, and they offer advantages like convenience, amenities, and a sense of community, which is why the threat of substitutes is low to moderate. Lastly, competitive rivalry is pretty high because the PBSA industry is becoming increasingly competitive. There are established players, they are expanding their portfolios, and new entrants are often attracted by the growth potential within the PBSA industry, which is why this high level of competition can lead to price wars. There is also pressure on profit margins, and there is a constant need for innovation to differentiate from the rest of the competitors.